The moment my fingers brushed the mirror's surface, a deafening crack ripped through the air. I stumbled back, shielding my face, but the glass didn't shatter outward. It folded inward, like a mouth opening to swallow me whole. I tried to scream, but the sound was sucked away. The entire world twisted, spinning violently. Floor, ceiling, walls, all blurred together into a black whirlpool. And then, suddenly, silence. I found myself standing in the middle of a street, but it wasn't the Willows End I had seen earlier. No, this version was worse, far worse. The houses were skeletons, half-burnt ruins sagging under the weight of an invisible hand. The sky above was wrong, crimson, like blood diluted in water. And the crowd? They were here too, closer, staring. Only now, they were moving. Slow, jerky steps forward, eyes hollow, mouths sewn shut with coarse black thread. Some dragged rusted chains behind them, others clutched tattered dolls or broken toys. Every one of them radiated despair and rage. At the center of the mob stood a tall figure, draped in rotted funeral robes, face hidden under a veil of shadows. It raised an arm, pointed at me, and without a sound, the crowd surged forward. I ran, feet pounding broken pavement, breath tearing from my lungs. No plan, no destination, just a way. But the town wasn't normal anymore. The streets looped back on themselves. Houses shifted places when I wasn't looking. Alleys stretched into endless labyrinths. I turned corner after corner, but no matter where I went, the crowd was always behind me. Closer, closer. Their stitched mouths quivering, leaking black tar down their chins. Their nails scraping the ground, leaving bloody trails. My chest burned, my legs screamed. I turned another corner and slammed straight into a wall of fog, thick, choking. I stumbled blindly through it, coughing. Shapes loomed around me, broken swing sets, rusted bicycles, half-buried gravestones. A graveyard, because of course it was. The ground was uneven, the graves ancient and forgotten, marked with crumbling stones. But as I passed by them, I realized some of the graves had fresh dirt, still loose, still breathing. Tiny hands reached out from the soil, clutching at my ankles. Small voices whispered, desperate and broken. "Stay with us. So lonely. Don't leave." I kicked and thrashed, tearing myself free, stumbling over tombstones. The fog parted slightly ahead, revealing a church, or what was left of one. Its steeple twisted at an unnatural angle. The stained glass windows shattered. The heavy wooden doors hung off their hinges. But most importantly, it was open. Shelter. Maybe even salvation. I sprinted toward it, ignoring the grabbing hands and whispered pleas. Behind me, the crowd shrieked, a sound so inhuman it made my blood curdle. I threw myself inside the church, slamming the doors shut. Darkness swallowed me. For a second, I thought I'd made it, that I was safe. But then, the candles lining the walls flickered to life, one by one, revealing the congregation. Rows and rows of pews filled with them, the people of Willows End. Only now, they weren't just stitched and hollow. They were rotted, faces eaten away by maggots, hands ending in claws, eyes glowing with a sickly yellow light, and standing at the pulpit, arms spread wide in mockery of a preacher, the figure in the funeral robes. Its veil lifted slowly, and I saw its face, or what was left of it. A swirling void, like a black hole, pulling light and hope into itself. No features, no mercy, just endless, devouring darkness. It spoke, not aloud, inside my head. 1,000 voices, overlapping, suffocating. "You have been chosen." Chosen? For what? I backed away, heart hammering so loudly it drowned everything else out. But there was nowhere to go. The doors were gone. The windows were bricked up. I was trapped. The figure floated down from the pulpit, moving without sound. The congregation stood as one. Their mouths tore open, ripping the stitches apart, black ichor pouring from the wounds. They began to chant. Words I couldn't understand. Ancient. Forbidden. The walls of the church bled, the floor buckled and cracked, the air grew so thick I could barely breathe. And in the center of the altar, something began to rise. A shape. Huge. Monstrous. Covered in writhing tentacles and gnashing teeth. A creature born from nightmares. Born from this cursed town. Born from me. Somewhere deep inside, a part of me realized the truth. Willows End wasn't a place you stumbled into. It was a place that called you. Chosen by your own darkness, your guilt, your regrets, your hidden sins. And once you answered the call, there was no going back. I had answered. And now it was too late. The creature lunged toward me. The world exploded into black. I expected pain, expected the creature to rip me apart, limb by limb. But instead, I floated, weightless, trapped in a cold, endless void. No light, no sound, only an overwhelming sense of loss. Was this death or something worse? I tried to move, but my body wasn't mine anymore. Tried to scream, but my voice was gone. All that remained was thought, fear. And then, through the darkness, a whisper, software, deceptively gentle. You are not dead. A figure coalesced in front of me, the robed entity, its face still that swirling void, but now it felt different, almost intimate. It drifted closer, tendrils of darkness wrapping around me, tightening with each word. You are becoming. Becoming what? I wanted to ask. To scream. To resist. But something inside me had already begun to shift. Memories bled away, torn from my mind like old wallpaper stripped from the walls. My childhood, my friends, my dreams, gone, replaced by new visions. Visions of Willows End, of endless nights, of stalking the empty streets, of hunting. I saw myself among the stitched-mouthed crowd, dragging broken limbs behind me. Saw myself waiting patiently at the mirror for the next unfortunate soul to stumble through. Because that was the price. That was the curse. Willows End wasn't a town. It was a prison. And everyone trapped inside was a prisoner tasked with recruiting the next inmate. An eternal cycle. Feed the void or be devoured by it. And now, it was my turn. The darkness receded, and I found myself back in the street. Only now, I wasn't running. I was standing still, waiting. The houses were ruins again. The sky was crimson. The crowd stood beside me, silent, patient. And in front of us, shimmering faintly, was the mirror, a portal back to the world of the living. The mirror cracked slightly, its surface rippling like water. A figure appeared on the other side, confused, terrified, just like I had been. They reached out, their hand trembling as it brushed the surface. I felt a pang of guilt, of sorrow, but it was buried quickly under the crushing weight of the void. There was no choice. There never had been. As the figure began to be pulled through, I stepped forward, welcoming them. Some stories you never truly leave behind. Some doors, once opened, can never be closed again. If you dare to uncover more forgotten horrors, more cursed places like Willows End, subscribe to the channel. Stay with us forever. The figure screamed as they crossed over, their voice joining the endless choir of the damned. And just like that, the mirror sealed shut behind them. One more lost soul, one more prisoner, and the clock struck midnight again. I turned back to the town, back to the only home I would ever know. The crimson sky stretched endlessly above me. The stitched-mouthed crowd dispersed into the ruins, and somewhere deep within the void, the robed figure watched, smiling, waiting for the next midnight, waiting for the next you.